What is it that is still not at rest? Why is there something that's still seeking? I'm sure you've met so many non-dual teachers that can explain non-duality so clearly, yet they are still reading books. How many words do I need to keep understanding what silence is? I know I am awareness. How many experiences and objects and thoughts and feelings do I need to keep witnessing to know that I am awareness? That one, by knowing which everything is known. The names keep changing, the forms keep changing, and the uses keep changing. But the essence remains the same, and the essence is the reality. You cannot truly understand non-duality or no thing without understanding what a thing is. You have infinite number of ways to point to awareness. You know that you are not a thing. Awesome. Let's understand what a thing is. So more knowledge is not the solution. It has a name, it has a form, it has a use, it appears within time and space. You are none of them. Okay, you can explain non-duality to someone else. So why does the seeking still carry on? You've read all the books. Why are you still seeking? That's the question. Let's take a look. And many people get stuck in intellectual knowledge of non-duality. I'm sure you've met a lot of people. You go onto Facebook groups, go onto Reddit, go onto these forums of non-duality. Everyone knows non-duality in and out. Everyone is actually arguing over who knows more about non-duality than the other one. It's entertainment. That's spiritual entertainment. You should go there and just have a look at who claims to be more enlightened, who knows more nothing than the other one, and who is trying to explain why the other one is wrong. But anyway, here's the question. You can explain non-duality to someone else, but then you yourself are still seeking. You know yourself internally that this is not it. There is still something amiss within. And spoiler alert, that more knowledge is not the answer to that. I spent a lot of time in books, intellectual reading, and I went through a lot of books. I'm sure you've gone through a lot of books as well. And more knowledge, let me describe what more knowledge is, or what the seeking is doing once you understand non-duality. So you understand 2 plus 2 is 4. You've understood that. You are very clear 2 plus 2 is 4. Now what more knowledge does to that is you're still seeking. Oh, I understood 2 plus 2 is 4. What about 6 minus 2? That is 4 as well. Oh my God. 2 times 2, that's 4 as well. Look. 8 minus 4 is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. That's what seeking more after you've understood it is doing to your mind. You're just finding new ways of the same one answer. So I know I am awareness, and I'm still looking for that one more. Oh my God, look. That table is appearing within my awareness. I know I am awareness. Look. That thought just arose within my awareness. So now I'm still seeking. What is the thought? What is the table? I know I am awareness. I still want to know. You have to understand what is it that is still not at rest. After knowing everything intellectually and even experientially for some time, why is there something that's still seeking, finding new ways? I'm sure you've met so many non-dual teachers and non-dual friends you might be having that can explain non-duality so clearly. Yet they are still reading books. They're still talking about it to other people. They're still trying to explain it in different ways. They are not at rest. The true non-dual person who has realized it and lives it keeps talking, reading, and everything else to the minimum. No amount of talking, no amount of reading is going to give me any new thing, any new knowledge, any new experience. Why? Because I know the basis, the foundation, the substratum, the source of all of that. What will a word do to silence? I know I am silence. How many words do I need to keep understanding what silence is? I know I am awareness. How many experiences and objects and thoughts and feelings do I need to keep witnessing to know that I am awareness? The Upanishads put it beautifully. In one of the Upanishads, a young boy comes back from boarding school and he tells his father, I learned this, they taught me this, and I know this. He's full of ego of all the knowledge that he has learned. And the father senses that. And he asks, son, did they teach you that by knowing which everything is known? And the boy is taken aback, says, no. What do you mean? I know this, I know that, I know this, I know that, I know I learned about this, everything. But that one, by knowing which everything is known? And he tells the father, no, they didn't teach me that. So you have got to teach me that. And so the father goes on to explain to him how by knowing clay, you know everything that is made of clay. How in today's world, how by knowing what electricity is, you know everything that uses electricity, the source, the power. By knowing what iron is, you know everything that's made of iron. By knowing what wood is, you know everything that's made of wood. Now, you can say a table is different from a chair. They're both made of wood. The essence remains the same. The reality remains the same. So if we take clay pots, so a clay pot is made of clay. You have saucers, you have jugs, you have let's say a bowl, all pottery. Every object has a different name, a different form, and a different use. But the fact is that it is just clay that has been put in that form for a particular use, given a particular name. In reality, right from in, out, up, down, all sides of that pot or any pottery is clay and clay. So I know the essence. If you know what water is, let's say water, you know what water is, it's H2O. Now you know the essence of what a lake is. You know the essence of what a cloud is, humidity, a river, an ocean, an ice cube. All different names, forms, and uses of the same water, H2O. What has changed? The name, the form, the use. In essence, the cloud is nothing but H2O. The ocean is nothing but H2O. The lake, the ice cube, the water we drink is nothing but H2O. The names keep changing, the forms keep changing, and the uses keep changing. But the essence remains the same, and the essence is the reality. A cloud is nothing else but water. Without water, no cloud. Without water, no ocean. Without water, no lake, no river, no ice cube. So, he asks the sun, did they teach you that, by knowing which everything is known? And I'll give you one step further. This is not in the Upanishad. By knowing a thing, everything is known. The essence of everything is known. You cannot truly understand non-duality or no thing without understanding what a thing is. Now you can accumulate a lot of knowledge, a lot of different ways, all the scriptures, all the non-dual teachers, masters, everybody, including this person sitting here talking and giving you all this, let's call it garbage in reality. You can listen to all of them, all different points of view of the same one reality. And there is endless, infinite number of ways to describe the one reality. It's like there are infinite number of ways to come down to 2 plus 2 is 4. We have an infinite number of sums that will equal to 4. You have infinite number of ways to point to awareness. And you can keep searching for them, you can keep reading them, you can keep understanding new ways. And the mind will keep doing that until you understand what the root is. I say this in my books, I say this in my videos as well. You know that you are awareness, good, great. You know that you are not a thing. Awesome. Let's understand what a thing is. Because only that will put a rest to the mind's curiosity, to the mind's seeking. You can understand a lot of things, but if you understand a thing, you have understood everything. So more knowledge is not the solution. Clarity of what you're seeking, the root cause. Number one would be the seeker, that I want to know. There's the I that starts. I want to know what that is. Then, what are we observing? Clarity on these two things. Because things are going to be the same. Everything has a name, a form, a use. Appears in time and space. Nothing more than that. That's the universe on your 5 fingers. It has a name, it has a form, it has a use. It appears within time and space. You are none of them. And these 5, are not separate from what you are. It's like the big wave, the small wave, the fast wave, the slow wave, and the dying wave is not water. But water is not separate from these 5 waves. So let's get back to the question. You can explain non-duality to someone else. So why does the seeking still carry on? Why are we still seeking? It's because the mind has not come to rest. The mind has not got the answer to who is seeking. It has not directly looked at the root cause of its curiosity or disturbance. And it's another clever trick of the mind by into awareness. Let's do a practical, experiential, direct exercise to experience this. Let's take a look at this question while we are experiencing the truth. You already know your awareness. You already know I am the infinite. Let's get into that state. All the rubbish that I've just spoken, let's calm it down. Let the mind slow down, calm down, the energy settle. So in this state now of awareness, where there is no mental thought, there's no mental image, there's no mental voice. At this point, you can be witnessing it or you can pay attention to it. It'll work both ways. We'll take a look. So if you're witnessing, you're in the state of witnessing. You're abiding as awareness, consciousness. In this state of awareness, which is non-dual, everything appears within this awareness. And there are infinite number of things and thoughts and emotions and actions happening all the time. So there's an infinite number of ways to point to this awareness. You can say the thought arose within awareness. You can say the emotion arose within awareness. You can say an action happened within awareness. You can say everything is changing within awareness. You can say you experience everything within awareness. There's an infinite number of ways of doing that. In fact, every thought and everything can be pointed back to awareness. The mind is keeping you busy to look for new ways of explaining this same non-dual awareness, of understanding this same reality through different ways. The mind is keeping you busy. And in that busyness, the mind survives. The subtle ego survives. I understand this now. I know this in a better way. I can explain this in a better way. The I survives. Very subtle. Because if you examine the I in its depth, it would disappear. How does it survive? You can say, I'm not the body, physical. Then you say, I'm not the thoughts, the mind. Then you say, I'm not my emotions, the emotions that are very evident, that arise and subside, that are strong emotions. I'm not none of those. And then you go deeper and you observe every sensation, every little movement within the body. Not an emotion, movement gives you the sense of me, I. And you notice that it disappears. There's just movement. There is no me. There is no I. like I said in the beginning, the one who is truly settled and calm, who has understood non-duality, doesn't really talk about it, doesn't explain to other people about it. Very calm, not looking for more information, not looking for more knowledge, not looking for who is more enlightened, who is more knowledgeable, who has learned a different tradition. Not looking for different ways that point to the same reality. He knows the base, the reality, the absolute, the root has been uprooted. The person has to do what the person has to do. You do the physical things, you do the mental thinking, and you feel the emotions that come and go. But when they're done, I am what I am. The question was asking about a seeker who knows that I am awareness, yet still feels the need to read books, to listen to videos, to listen to other people, to talk about non-duality, to explain it to other people, to get into debates and arguments and prove how I am right or you are right. It's entertainment, like I said. You go onto Facebook non-duality groups, it's spiritual entertainment. So in this state, there is no word, there is no book, there is no teaching, there is no pointer, there is nothing needed to be this. You already are. Maybe one more tradition, one more culture, one more ancient teaching. If I understand this, I'll get it. No. I'll get it. I is still there. That very searching, that very reading, that very seeking is keeping the I alive in the most subtle form that is never noticed. So if the seeking is still going on, even after you can intellectually understand non-duality and explain it to anybody very easily, then there's still the subtle I, sense of me. It's not as loud as an emotion, as loud as a thought, as loud as an action. It's as subtle as a little movement in the body, as a little movement in the mind, as a little movement in the breath. So you do not need more knowledge, you do not need more books, you do not need more teachings. You need to see the root and see that it doesn't exist. It was an imagined identity, not only just imagined in the mind, it has been conditioned in the body for decades. So if you're at that point where non-duality is so clear, you can explain it to anybody and everybody, yet you have another book that's coming in that you want to read, there's another meditation practice that you still need to do, there's another saint that you've heard of that you want to go and meet, that is the identification still keeping you busy. In this state of awareness, every spiritual practice is hopeless. So this awareness does not need knowledge. It does not need emotions. It does not need anything. In fact, everything that you try or put into trying to achieve this or become this goes against it. Let's see if I've answered the question. You can explain non-duality to someone else, so why does the seeking still carry on? It's because the subtlest part of the identification still hasn't been seen through. Stay as this and see through the subtlest movement, sensation that happens within your body and within your mind. See through the subtlest sense that says, this is me. We'll leave it at that.